Jerry probably should have won a Genius Award from MacArthur probably a half dozen times during his career. He was a great humanitarian, brilliant. He had the issue of race and criminal justice in the mid-1980s before anybody ever thought about it. We've published a few books from a policy aspect. And then in the late 1980s, Jerry ran an art gallery for us. We had art for institutionalized people that we displayed down in Alexandria. And then Jerry kind of started to retire in the early 1990s. And we got asked by the state of Maryland to do a lot of direct service programs to help deinstitutionalize the mental hospitals, the juvenile prisons in Maryland. So we developed new models of care, new models of residential care, new models of vocational training, new models of education in Maryland since the early 1990s. We grew from 2 employees, Jerry and myself, in 1977, and we now have about 650 employees, most of them here in Baltimore and Maryland area. We do very little advertising. Most of our work is repeat business with lawyers. You need to understand that most, even the very good criminal defense attorneys, handle maybe a dozen sentences a year in federal court, and we're handling 200 a year. So we bring a lot to the table in terms of experience, in terms of what we can offer them when they build their sentencing arguments, when they build their sentencing mitigation. And I love lawyers, and they're my customers, but they're often like doctors with terminally ill patients. You know, they got the defendant through the plea agreement, and now it's up to the judge, to determine. It's up to God to determine what happens. And there's a lot of interventions that can happen, and we really specialize in developing alternative placements and alternative community service arguments, restitution arguments, and the such. But we also work with families and defendants when they're going to prison. It's another little sideline business, because if you're going to a federal prison, you don't know what to expect, and your family certainly doesn't know what to expect. So we do a lot of prison consultation with defendants because it's our view that not only the defendant serves a sentence, but the family serves a sentence. And they need to understand the changes that they're going to have to go through. Just as a quick example, a lot of defendants say, well, my wife's going to come up and see me every weekend. Well, it really doesn't work like that, because the wife's at home with 3 kids and soccer games and educate, churches and other aspects of their life, and the defendant's up there, running the track and getting a 6-minute mile in, and just being bored most of the time. So we work on both the practical aspects of a prison sentence as well as the psychological aspects of a prison sentence that a defendant and a family is going to go through. That's actually international. We're doing a case right now over in Ireland on one of the Bitcoin defendants. We've done a number of cases in England. I've done a lot of cases in Canada. So it's primarily national, but we have been international also.